All right, that is our first sale. All right, I finally decided I'm gonna make everything public. You see, I have been working on my third app for the past month. I used Weweb and Xano to build this app called Instagram.ai. This app lets you upload few selfies and the AI model will generate beautiful portraits of you. And as you can see on the screen, I'm using Elon as a test here. The app was launched using Facebook ads and I even got my first customer. While I built the app, I also did something. I screen recorded the entire process from scratch using Weweb and Xano. I showed how to build everything I have built inside the app, the authentication, the integrations, the AI models, everything. And not just that. I remember my first two apps, I had partners because I didn't know how to take care of marketing. I didn't know how to take care of the distribution. So what I did was I run my own Facebook ads for the third app, and I also got my first customer using Facebook ads. So I'm also including that in this free YouTube series. If you're watching this video, that means you are probably watching one of the videos from the set series. So if you want to watch the full series, I will have a playlist of that in my YouTube channel. And if you want to work with me or my team, you can also look at the links in the description and get in touch with me as well. By the way, before you jump into the video, a word of caution. These videos are filmed raw. That means there is very minimal editing, almost no editing. So there will be a lot of head scratches. There will be moments where I don't know what the heck to do. So I'll be thinking and, doing stupid things, but eventually we figure it out, right? If you're watching the series, that means the app was launched and we made our first sale and the user is happy with that. All right. So with that said, let's jump into the series. Thank you. Okay, now it's time to build the logic that will handle this uh, output, put it into, man, this really kind of looks like me, but the other one looks like, yeah, I don't want to say. Anyway, I want to now build uh, a table which will log all the generated images. All right, and each image will be owned by a user. So we will use a table reference user and it will be connected with their user ID, right? So each image will be owned by a user and user ID. What else are we saving? We are saving the image URL, right? So we will save image URL, okay? And then we will also save the prompt, okay? And I think we will also save the um, model. No, I think that is enough. Yeah, I think that is enough, at least for now. The user ID that is connected with it, we will save the image URL and we will save the prompt. Do we need anything else? I don't think so. Okay. So we have this function, right? So this function basically create image from LoRa. It does all that. Now what we're going to do is we will create an endpoint where the user can send in something and it can generate. So just like model, so we'll just clone model and it will be in a new API group. The API group will be, because this is not connected to a model, actually this is actually generate image, right? So now we will just use the same models. Okay, generate images, image, we'll call it that image. Okay, so post an image, post image, and we don't need any of this. All right, We don't need model name, but what we need is prompt. We need a prompt from the user. And later I want to build done for you prompt packs, where they can select vacation pack and they select a location, and then we will generate a set of images with that. But for now, I think just just uh, let the user input a prompt and build an image, send it back. That is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so user ID to use, we will replace this with the authenticated user's ID. And next thing we are going to do is we are going to, oh, we will also need a model ID. So we will need the model ID of this, right? So the user should send in the ID of the model they want to use. That is very important. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to get record from models where ID is the file model ID, right? And I'm going to call it model details because this is where all the LoRa files and everything is on, right? And let me refresh. Yeah, 98. So if I send something like 98, I'm getting true. Yeah, I forgot to add the stop and debug and get model details. There you go. We have everything, right? So we need to do some preconditions. Precondition number one is, let's add a precondition. The first condition is the model that is selected. Okay, let's take this and do some stuff, right? So model that is selected should be complete. All right. We will only let users select models that are complete. But oh shit, this should be in here. Equal to complete. All right. If it's not, selected model is not complete. All right, and we will do this and we'll do a bad request. That's what we're going to respond with. Okay, so that's the first one. Oh, that should be the second one. First one would be, we need to check if this model is owned by authenticated user, right? So what we're going to do is model details dot owned by is equal to user ID. If it's not authorized to use this model. Why do we do this? Well, in a perfect world, you can just do this without a precondition. But I'm pretty sure there will be people who try to ping your backend URLs and try to access files that are not authorized. Okay, so I am hard coding this user ID for now, but later we will change this to authorized users ID, right? But we have to turn authorization on for that. For testing, it's hard, so I'm going to just stick with user ID 1, that is myself. Okay, so I'm authorized to view this, and the model is also complete, so that too is done. Now we need to get the diffuser's LoRa file, and we need to get the config file. Okay, so we are going to add the function file generate image from LoRa, right? File generate image from LoRa, and the prompt should be the prompt that we're getting. Image size, yeah, I think that's something which the user should give. Wait a second, should be enum image size, and we will add the values. Let me get those values. Okay, value number 1 is square HD, number 2 is square, 3 is portrait, then there is portrait 16, then there is landscape. Okay, the default will be portrait, 16 is to 9. All right, so we have the image size. Image size is also an enum. Guidance scale 3.5. We will hard code it for now. Safety check. Enable safety check. True. Number of steps, we will hard code it. LoRa's, don't care. Single LoRa is basically the model details, and out of this we will take the LoRa file, diffuser LoRa file, right? And file output object, right? So this is what's going to happen. Now let's do a stop. Actually, clone this, disable this, and let's do a stop to view files output object. Okay, cool. So after this object is created, we should immediately update this to our database which has generated images, right? So I'm going to add a function, add record. And oh, by the way, before that, we need to upload this to our S3 bucket, right? So we're going to do a for each loop, and we are going to loop through file output object dot images, right? And image, that's what we're going to loop through, and inside this we can do another stop, and we will do image. So now let's see what is in the image. We are going to disable this stop. So inside image there is the URL, width, and content. So we will just upload this, upload to S3. Okay, file would be image.url. all right, because this is the image and the URL. And here we will do user ID, and we will concatenate timestamp. Oh no, timestamp, right? So we will do a user ID, then we will concat that with timestamp, and then we will concat that with a what should we do now? PNG, right? Dot PNG. Okay, and we will do path called images generated. All right, let's see. S3 image load, S3 image URL. I'm going to call it that, and I'm going to disable, and this time we will preview the S3 image URL. Let's upload. Hope it goes through. Ah, I forgot to enable this. Shit. But let's go to S3 and check if something happened. All right. So here's my S3 bucket. Image just generated. This is the image. Open the URL. Not really working. Instagram. Oh, I gotta put it inside models. I don't want it here. So everything related to that, I'm gonna put it inside models. Right, models image generated. Run it. And we got that. Boom. There is me. Alright, so we are getting that URL, right? And it's also being uploaded to our S3 bucket images. And here it is. Alright. Man, I cannot look at that face, bro. Okay, anyway. We will now, where is it? Okay, we will now log that into generated image, right? So we are going to add record bfal. Oh, not file models. It should be to add record, and it will go to generated images. ID created now, that's also fine. User ID will be user ID right here, and image URL will be S3 image URL. Prompt will be the prompt, right? Logging image. Okay, so that's that. Now if I run this after uploading everything, I should see that here, right? And the image URL was this. Prompt was empty, like whatever. Upload, and here you can see every image that is generated by users will be here. And yeah, I'm closing it because I don't want to see that face. Okay, so yeah, so this will loop through. If it generated multiple images, it will loop through, but by default we are only doing it for one image, so that should be fine. And after this, after all of this, we can send back, for now we can send back that S3 image URL, right? So I'm going to respond with oops, an object set, gotta get the door. Okay, now we are going to say success true, and we're going to set another image URL would be
S3 image URL. Okay, now when we do this, the final output would basically do this, right? Obviously it won't be that fast, but you get the idea. And every time we will log it to our database, and we will upload to our S3. All right, cool. So that is our backend for creating an image and deleting image. I think very similar. We'll just remove it from our database, and we will remove it from our S3 bucket. Okay, yeah, I guess that's about it for our endpoints. So we have a endpoint. We will create the other endpoint for deleting. We'll create that later, right? Uh, so yeah, so I guess the backend is kind of ready. It's time to move to Weweb now.